How porn is turning you into a pervert. 1. It objectifies women. A real man sees a woman for who she is. He respects her and her individuality. He sees her as his equal and as a person that deserves respect. It takes a lot of work and effort to interact with women, but a real man has the cajoles to do it. Porn, on the other hand, objectifies women. It turns women into things that are only there to gratify a man's sexual urge. Porn eliminates any need to connect with a woman emotionally or intellectually. If you have to view porn so you can feel like a man, you've got some problems. Real men don't have to turn women into things to feel like a man. 2. It supports a filthy industry. Almost no man I know would hire a prostitute for sex. The idea of paying a stranger for sex violates their sense of propriety. But porn is basically prostitution, just a few steps removed. No matter how you slice it or rationalize it, you are paying a stranger to have sex. It's pretty gross when you take a step back. You're paying people to have sex so you can watch them do it. No man would ever want his sister to be a porn star, so why is it okay for someone else's sister to do it? The more porn that is consumed, the more porn that is made. Even if you're sitting in your den in Omaha, you have a hand in making the industry grow. 3. It will mess with your expectations of sex. Porn creates unrealistic expectations in the minds of men about love and sex. In porn, the women are always hot and ready to go and have perfect airbrushed bodies. Best of all, the women don't talk. Men don't have to worry about nagging or having to interact with the women they view in magazines and videos. Men can just have their way them and be done with it. The reality is that women don't want to have sex all the time, but just the talk. I mean a lot. If you want to have a good love life, avoid the porn. 4. It creates a cycle that diminishes your sexual pleasure. At this point, people often reach for more food, more sex, more porn, etc. in order to recover the initial pleasure they once took in the experience. But this only begins a vicious cycle in which you must seek ever greater and more intense stimulation to return to your initial pleasure level. Eventually you overwhelm and numb your pleasure receptors. While society may sell you on the idea that the more sexual images you cram into your life, the happier you'll be, the opposite is true. To quote Naomi Wolf, the reason to turn off the porn might become, to thoughtful people, not a moral one but, in a way, a physical and emotional health one. You might want to rethink your constant access to porn in the same way that, if you want to be an athlete, you rethink your smoking. The evidence is in, greater supply of the stimulant equals diminished capacity. 5. It saps your manly confidence. Porn saps a lot of confidence you have in yourself. Men usually turn to porn when they're depressed and lonely. Instead of making the effort to get out and meet real women, many men take the easy way with porn. More often than not, after getting their fix, men feel even more depressed and lonely because the only intimacy they can get is with a magazine or a web video. It leaves them feeling empty inside. Even worse, pornography can become a crutch for a man, which in turn can sap more of their confidence. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informational, do like, share it with a friend and subscribe for latest updates on this channel.